Okay, hello. we did it. Jan literally just finished the last sentence.
Sorry for being late. My bad.
Oh my god, I also just finished like less than 10 minutes ago, so it's fine. It's fine.
That's what she said.
Yeah, kind of on theme for this one. There was like a lot more sex than I was expecting, but like, we're not mad about it.
Wait, you didn't expect sex, really? I did.
I don't know. Like I figured, but it was definitely a little bit, I don't know, not even
It was
spicy.
a lot more vulgar than I expected.
It was vulgar. I mean, like, I guess maybe like sex positive is the way I would describe it. Like there was like multiple characters that all like explored that in depth.
True.
But we will talk about all of those things. Hi, welcome to Hot Girl Book Club.
Hello.
We just finished Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I have the book, even though I read all of it on audiobook mostly today.
Oh, really?
So that's
really
okay. We are queens of procrastination. I read the first like 150 pages last night physically, and then the audiobook the second half like today.
No, I slammed this book down pretty much like mostly today. I was at work and I was like, you guys, I really need to finish this. I'm so sorry. And then like I was telling them about this book club, and my coworker was like, okay, you read, I'll take care of this person. Like everyone was so sweet about it.
Precious. So cute.
Anyway.
Library staff, that is the best.
We love it.
I know that you just finished it 30 seconds ago, but what are your overall impressions? And do you have a star rating that comes to mind?
I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
4-star read. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
it was a 3 for like about halfway through. I was like, okay, I don't know if you. Okay, how is this formatted? Like, are we doing? You never gave me the lowdown of your book.
Oh, it's just vibes. It's just vibes.
All right.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, I have like some vague notes. But it's mostly like stream of consciousness.
Got it. All right. So same here. Love to see it. Okay. So it was like halfway through, I was like, why are there? I don't know about you, but there were some problematic, questionable fucking lines in the. I can swear, right?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
On Noelle 7 Pages World.
Please fucking swear.
I'm dead. But yeah, like there were some questionable, like borderline racist.
Oh.
I mean, straight up racist.
Yep.
Misogynistic, I don't know. But
yep.
that ending, those 2 words at the ending just bumped it up to a 4. I could not.
Yes. I'm also leaning on a 4, I think.
Yeah.
That's like it feels like a 4, but I also feel like it's going to kind of stick with me, which makes me want to bump it up higher because I feel like I'm just going to be like marinating on it for a while. But
right, like
it didn't really give me the like impact wow factor of like the 5-star feeling. So for now it's a 4, and if I can't get it out of my brain, then maybe I'll raise it up later.
See, I don't do that, but
oh, really?
Like I'm still trying to figure out if I even like the couple, like did I love or hate them together? I don't know. But then that last page though, I don't know.
Yeah,
you let me know when we get into spoilers because I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I know. I will let you know. Yeah, I told Sarah we would do we would start spoiler free.
Oh yes. I will say though, trigger warnings for self-harm.
Trigger warnings for self-harm and so many other trigger warnings. I actually thought it would be a little bit heavier than it was. I thought there would be more like domestic violence, probably just based on the black eye on the cover. But it wasn't as much as I thought. Like a light trigger warning for it still.
It's the way I didn't even notice that was a black eye.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was blush.
Just one. Well, I guess you can't really see through the other cheek.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just, artsy.
I mean, he is a painter. It could be like interpretive, I guess.
Exactly. Oh my god, wait, speaking of that, so when they kept saying struggling artist, I kept getting flashbacks to your video with the roomies.
Oh my god.
When you guys were doing the fucking like bad description books and you described Akatar, I fucking died.
Oh my god, what was it? It was like
like struggling artist roams, or no, that's Addie LaRue. I don't know.
Like a starving artist kills a stranger and then moves into the stranger's friend's house, or like something. Was like my bad description of Akatar.
Yep. So.
Which is especially bad. I don't know how they actually ever got that one. Pretty mean of me.
Also, on page, I don't know if you noticed this, but on page 235, both our brands were mentioned in the same fucking sentence.
235.
It's like
I'm
close
about
to
to check the receipts. Where?
It's like close to the top. It's a list of foods.
Oh yeah.
I was like hot Cheetos, hot dog, and In-N-Out. I was like, oh my god, why is this perfect?
Oh, that was the one chapter that we got from Santiago, which I want to talk about all the characters like eventually.
Okay, yeah, who was your favorite?
Oh my god. I'm between like Zoe and Eleanor, I think.
Zoe's my favorite.
We're my favorites, yeah.
Queen shit all around.
Yeah, she's cool. And she was the youngest. But that sentence was like, oh, like respected, like professional chefs, like they can't like those things. They can't like street hot dogs or hot Cheetos, and they can't like fast food. And then in parentheses was like, except for In-N-Out, it's okay to like In-N-Out. I do remember that now.
Yes. Yes. But yes, Zoe was my favorite. I loved the part. Oh, never mind.
Are we? Oh yeah, we're not quite on spoilers yet, so don't worry, Paige. I will let you know once we officially get into spoilers. But we both gave it about 4 stars ish, give or take.
What
I might go up, Jen might go down. Well, I guess you said you don't change it, do you?
Yeah, I'm keeping it
in stone now. It's out there.
I laughed out loud so many fucking times during this.
It was actually so funny. I didn't expect it to be so funny.
Like it's like Sally Rooney, but make it funnier, you know?
Yeah. That's what all of the reviews that I've read in the last 10 minutes before we went live is like, okay, what do other people think about this book? And it's literally people being like, oh, if you like Conversations with Friends, oh, if you like Sally Rooney, oh, compared to Sally Rooney, I'm like, oh, damn, okay. I was really spot on with that one.
I wrote down that it's similar to Sally Rooney, and I immediately saw that comparison. But I put, not only is it like the same like melancholic undertones, the same melancholy mood, you know, and then there's like the dry humor and the fucked up characters.
Yeah.
But then there's also, it's down to the point where it's similar in like the characters being hard to keep track of. Like who the fuck was who? Honestly, half the time.
Oh, yeah. That was wild. And there were so many of them too.
Exactly. Because have you
read? It wasn't just Frank and Cleo. There was like so many. Like there was Zoe, there was Eleanor, there was like Anders.
Like who the fuck is Quentin. Christine? Who's Christine? Who's Min? Who's Mimi? Who the fuck is Levi? I don't know. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, so many random people that all mean, because we even got like the side characters, you know? It's like, oh, we're really going in on these characters.
Have you read Sally Rooney before? Like any of them?
No, I keep thinking like, oh, I should just do like a whole reading vlog of Sally Rooney, because I know that I'm the type of person that would make Sally Rooney my entire personality. So
I would, if you're gonna do that, I would end on Normal People.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's her best.
I could go like reverse order maybe.
Yeah.
Was Normal People first or Conversations with Friends first?
I think Conversations with, I don't know. It would make sense that Normal People was her debut because they made it the adaptation first, right? They adapted it first.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But
we'll see. I know that's now, because I've read a few books now that have been like compared to, or like said like for fans of Sally Rooney, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. I guess I need to read some Sally Rooney.
I think you would love her. Yeah. I also like, I couldn't find the word, like besides dry, I could not think of another word for the humor, because it was like, it was more than just like the dry, blunt, like British humor, you know? It was
Yeah, Cleo's humor was definitely that way.
yeah.
But what came to my mind was like Cleo and so many of the other characters were very like quick-witted, where it didn't feel like try hard humor. Like they were just kind of like very like intelligently witty and funny on the fly. Like
I put
they would just think of things, even though it's like obviously a written novel, but it
Mhm.
felt kind of organic and like cheeky. It didn't feel like the author was sitting there thinking of jokes and then being like, "Oh, that's great. I'm gonna write that." But
Right.
like it felt organic.
I put cynical. Cynical came to mind,
Oh
and
yeah,
then and
yeah,
like a lot of their jokes revolved around cliches as well.
yeah. I mean, I
Which
think
was
the whole book, not to get too pretentious, but I felt the whole book was playing with like cliches. You know what I mean? It was like a commentary on society, if you will.
I'm dead. It was the glasses put down for me. Oh, okay. Conversations with friends was her debut.
Okay. Okay, cool, cool. So maybe I will go. I'll just end on normal people, you said?
Yeah, because it's
Okay,
her
that's the
best.
plan. That's the plan.
Have you seen the show or no?
No,
Okay. I watched the show
not you,
first.
Google. My Google Home was like, sorry, I didn't understand.
I'm dead. You wanted to join. Um, yeah, I watched the show first, and that's what made me want to read it physically because I could not with her like fucking no quotation mark shit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Yeah, I've
Also,
read a couple other books that do that, and it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, because I hear people talk about with Sally, like talk about that being like Sally Rooney's style, and I
mhm.
always thought, oh, that's so weird. But in the books that I've read that have that style, it's like, yeah, you get used to it.
It's honestly iconic.
It kind of is. It's like, okay, the audacity, like
Right.
you went there, you know, you're supposed to use them. It's like a choice, but I respect
It's
it.
a choice. Yep. So,
What do we think of let's see, before we get into spoilers, we could still kind of talk broadly about like the themes. Do you
mhm.
feel like there was a moral to the story, like a as like a broad overview? Like what was the point? As I lift my glass of wine.
What was the fucking
What was
point?
the reason?
I can't think of anything right now, but I will tell you that I had no idea what the fuck was going on in those chapters that had the star sections. You know what I'm talking about? They're like
No.
little sections of just like little vignettes, but like micro vignettes of like what the hell was happening with Cleo, but it was separated by stars.
Star? Like give me a page number.
Ah, fuck. 146.
Oh.
Those, like, I felt like I was high reading that shit. Like, what was going on in every little paragraph? Like, some of them, like, you were in a different setting for every section. And I was just confused.
There's some with like Frank and Eleanor too.
Mm-hmm. I was just happy they were in segments like that because it made me read faster.
Yeah, the other book that I read that had those, so I think most of those chapters is when I switched to audiobook. So I didn't even like really notice that format. But the other book that I read recently that does that like breaks it up for seemingly no reason was No One Is Talking About This by Patricia something, which was super good but really really weird, and it reads like same, like you feel like you're high, like it's like separated into like bite-sized, almost like tweets that are like
Right.
disconnected but connected, and just makes you wonder what is the choice, what is going on.
Right. I will say my favorite line in that, I read it today at work and I read it to my coworker and she was like, I kind of want to read that. That one line that was like, what do you give to men who have everything? And it was like antibiotics. And I fucking peed myself.
There were some really good lines actually. Like this is on my like reread pile for sure, even though I just finished it. But there was like so many good little nuggets in there. Like
That's
another one that I loved was something about like it's Quentin, I think, talking to Cleo and was like, hey, when have you ever had a conversation with a white man where he said something that you weren't already thinking?
Yes.
And yeah, and she was like, huh, well, never, but I'm not going to say that to Quentin right now because he's like judging me for being with Frank.
It was like, when was the last time you said something to a white man or a white man said something to you that you weren't thinking something more interesting about, or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
It was the interesting for me. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was there were so many times where the writing like went there and like scratched that very, very specific feeling or emotion or circumstance that like I didn't know we could like put words to, but it was it was like really fun when it happened.
Right. What did you think was the overall point though? I'm curious.
Oh God. I don't know. I think just about how every character in the book seemed to have like their thing, and there's even a moment where I think it was when Frank and Cleo like early in the book were like on their honeymoon, and there's like some other person at the table with them on their honeymoon that's like, Cleo, this is your thing, Frank, this is your thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know what I mean. And then every single character and every side character has like a central thing that's either like their problem or their personality flaw or their Achilles heel or whatever that they're like working on that defines them, which I thought was the most interesting because every single one of them, Frank and Cleo and all the side characters, go through their thing from beginning, middle, and end, and how it changes them, or
Yeah.
like their trajectory by the end. And then it made me think like, oh, what is my thing? What is everyone else in my life's thing? Like what do I base all of my decisions and thoughts and opinions around, you know, in my life, which was at least that's what I was thinking about while reading it, but I don't know if that is the point or the theme.
Interesting. Yeah. Every character definitely had some sort of like growth and development factor. But I was still like, even that's the thing though, like even though they all had their distinct things, each character was not distinct to me. Like I was still confused about who the hell was who, and like who was speaking at some points. Like I was, it lost me a lot of the time is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you what the overall point was.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like posing as an intellectual, literally editing my video where I read normal people.
I just uploaded mine because we buddy read.
I saw that. I haven't watched it yet. Very excited.
I cried so many times in that vlog. It's not even funny.
The people love the tears for the content.
I know. My You've Reached Sam vlog is popping off for no fucking reason other than my tears.
Mm-hmm. Classic. The first chapter I read like that I loved, I think, was Eleanor's chapter. Okay, maybe it was just Eleanor's like structure.
Okay, high-key, I thought that was Cleo the whole time. That's awkward.
It's crazy because Eleanor and Cleo were similar in some ways.
That's what I'm saying. I got them confused all the time.
It's just that like Eleanor was like emotionally healthier than Cleo was.
Okay, I could see that. I didn't even know she had her own chapters. Like I thought she was just the girl that Frank was fucking. Like,
yeah, it kind of did like slowly morph into more and more and more and more POVs, which was a little bit disorienting at first, but I ended up really liking it. I would describe it as like stream of consciousness writing, because even within one person's own chapter, that person would flash back one paragraph and then flash forward to the current thing and then flash back one paragraph, which was
okay, yeah,
kind of gave me whiplash.
Exactly. I didn't even try to comprehend what the timeline was anymore. I was just like, let me just roll with it. Let me just vibe.
Just vibe.
Purchase to go. Yeah, I tabbed the bejesus out of this.
Oh, nice.
Like insane.
Nice. I did actually really like the writing. I liked the structure and the style, and there were so many good lines. It always knew when to like pack a punch. I never felt like it was like overdoing it. It like the pacing felt really good, I thought.
I don't know about Oh yeah, I guess the pacing. I was questioning like back and forth whether I liked the writing or not. I wasn't sure. I'm still not sure, honestly.
It's very fresh.
Yeah, it gives Sally Rooney, and it gives minor acts of desperation. Have you read Acts of Desperation yet?
No, it's on my TBR because of you, but I haven't read it.
God, this is the year. You got to read it.
Mm-hmm. It's happening. It's happening.
The Sugar Glider chapters.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe we will get into some spoilers now. PSA.
Okay.
If you haven't read the chapter about the sugar gliders, consider yourself warned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was let it go. I was like, why are you're overthinking this, man? Like, just get a fucking puppy. Why are you?
Right. That was the whole reason of like, why does it have to be a sugar glider was bizarre in general. Sunday is doing a stretch.
Aww.
Oh no, she's embarrassed. Okay. It was like, yeah, I felt the same of like, oh my god, just get a puppy or something. She's still going.
Speaking of Sunday, so I did have like going away from sugar gliders for a sec. There was a line about Sunday towards the end. Hold on.
Oh, like a face as long as Sunday.
That one. And then like right after it was like it made me think of like, what is your interpretation of like like obviously you named your dog Sunday, so like it's a positive thing for you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so her name is Sunday because I used to volunteer at the rescue where I got her every Sunday. So so she came in one Sunday. Hi. She's like, that's my name.
Oh my
She came in one day while I was volunteering there, and it was like the complete cliche thing of like, oh, yep, that one is mine. That's my dog, and she chose me. So I named her Sunday for that reason. But also, when I was a kid, my mom still gives me crap about this because I used to call Sundays or some like long days on like summer break, I would call forgetful days. And my mom, even as a kid, my mom was like, why do you say forgetful days? Like, that's so silly. Like, don't you want to remember these like long, relaxing days? And I was like, yeah, mom, like this is how much of a pick me girl I was as a kid. Yeah, mom, but the point is that like you forget everything else. But the moment, like me as an 8-year-old, okay? So
I'm screaming.
I know. So that's the energy of like Sundays and like those like long, sleepy, like lazy days. It's forgetful day.
Not intellectual little Noelle. Oh
God. We love her, but also she was kind of a tryhard, but that's okay.
It's okay. You know that we're getting so off track. But I loved Arthur, right? Loved it. Obsessed with it. Don't understand how they're in 3rd grade writing about the fucking Constitution, but but we were vibing. The brain, Alan, like his best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
I aspired to be that guy to the point where I was like just saying big words to my parents just to say them, just to sound smart. It made no sense contextually, but it was just, I will never forget that.
I love it. Love it.
But yeah, no, I was just curious because like some people are like, oh my God, Sundays. But like some people are like these are my get your shit together days, you know?
Yeah. Well, and also Sunday right now with my schedule, Sundays are my Fridays. So to me, that's like the best day of the week right now. I'm like, woo, it's Sunday. And everyone else in my life that doesn't have a hospitality job is like, meh.
I love Sundays personally, but
I do too. Even when I like had a 9-to-5, that was like my laundry day and my clean the house day and get my life together day, which I love.
Okay.
Yes, but anyways, back to spoilers and sugar gliders.
Sugar gliders.
My favorite thing about that chapter was when Frank brings it home and is like, "Oh, look, I'm such a good hipster husband for my artist wife that I got you a sugar glider." And then Cleo is like, "I'm such a good hipster artist wife that it can't just be named a name, and we have to name it a sign language name." And Frank is like, the only thing I know in sign language is, oh Jesus, how I adore you. And Cleo's like,
I forgot
that's it. And they name their fucking sugar glider, oh Jesus, how I adore you. I thought that was like the funniest joke in the whole book, I thought.
My favorite part was when he flushed it.
Oh my god. That destroyed me.
Because I literally, my jaw dropped. I was like, did I read that right? And it was like, and I just, you know me and how I like cannot visualize shit that I read, right? But that, the whole face down Jesus thing, I saw that. Every detail of that. Like, and he's like taking a piss and fucking I could not.
The way that he was like, and then that's when I saw it, Jesus face down in the toilet bowl. I'm like, what an image.
But no, it had a lot of like really good jokes throughout. Like all the digs on Americans got
So
me,
good.
sent me, full send.
So good.
Like I wrote down for page 104, don't be hyperbolic. You're not an American. And that's so true. And I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, we literally exaggerate everything. Me just saying literally is such an American fucking thing.
Yes. That whole dinner or lunch or whatever with Cleo's parents was a nightmare, but so like overblown, which it was like also hyperbolic about British people, because like, what was it, Peter and something, Miriam or something like that, because she's going on this whole thing about like, oh yes, I help people to heal their inner child, and I did a workshop in China, and the CEO of this Chinese company told me I was the only genius he'd ever met. And Frank and Cleo are across the table like, what, dude? Right? What? Yeah, that was like a very, that chapter felt like a fever dream. It was like, what's going on here? Whose parents behave like this?
Yeah, I like vaguely remember that, honestly. And I keep forgetting how young Cleo is compared to Frank. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. How old was Zoe again? 19, right?
Zoe was like 19. Yeah. I think Cleo was like 25.
Something like that. Yeah, 24, 25.
Which she did not read that way to me. I kept thinking that she was older, but
yeah,
being reminded that she was so young.
Yeah, same. Okay, can we just talk about that line? I'm just gonna mention it. The line that said, "But if you tell a man he has nice hair, he'll be like, thanks, and my cock is huge."
Yes.
I was deceased. I was rolling in my grave.
Yeah, that was a banger. Yeah, because they're talking about how women can't accept compliments; they have to like
throw it back. Yeah, that was one of my favorite
ones. Doesn't look good. It's just a blah blah blah.
Yeah, but your hair.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, thanks, and my cock is huge. I died.
Yeah, it was like women fear envy and men fear pity. And I was like,
yes, whoa. Also a great line.
Yeah. I do that shit all the time too. Like I can't just fucking take a compliment. I always have to be like, thanks, and you know. Or like, thanks, I got it from
yeah, it has pockets. Like
yeah.
Yep. Oh my god, it was on sale.
It was on sale. I got it for $5. You should go there. Let's, disregard the compliment you just gave me.
Yeah. I mean, okay, there was even like a callback to that conversation at the very end with Frank and Eleanor, where he's like, we're gonna try something, because she'd just gotten a haircut and she's like embarrassed about her haircut, and he like takes her hands, he's like, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say, Eleanor, your hair looks really pretty like that, and you're gonna say, thank you. And she's like, no, I can't do it. And he's like, let's practice.
It really takes a lot though. Like I just feel so like incomplete when I just say thank you,
It's a weird feeling, because then you just have to like sit in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you think you're pretty?
Right.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
But speaking of like bringing things back around, in that same like star section chapter, I guess it was Eleanor. I thought it was Cleo this whole time. But when they talked about her like finish or starting her poem with it's like a dangerous place, or what was it? Fuck. I missed it. Or I forgot it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a dangerous place.
It's like this place is a dangerous fuck. Hold on. Give me a second.
There was another like poem or something similar where it was like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this.
Oh yeah, it was like my brain daily. And then it was like, I need to lie down.
I'm like, oh, a little called out here, but okay.
Right, I felt attacked. And the last line of that section was, I need to lie down. And I was like, that's literally me. When I'm so overwhelmed, I'm just like, okay, I'm not doing anything.
Do anything? Yeah. Same.
I found it. 157, when the chapter ends with, this is a place of exquisite beauty and extreme danger.
Yes.
And it like rolled it it like I don't know, it like went back to when she started the poem with that same line, and the way it ended with that at like it sets the scene. So Coco Mellors sets the scene so well, and like just brings you there. It's such vivid imagery, like at so many points throughout the book. It's insane.
It was really vivid. I really appreciated that, and she did have such a good way of like circling back and like making those little
circling is the word I was like.
Let's circle back.
Not rolling. I meant circle.
Same.
But yes, circling back.
Yeah, I thought that was super clever, and it kind of kept up with like the stream of consciousness vibe, because within each chapter, each character would like randomly flash back within like an active scene happening, like between dialogue lines. Like a dialogue line would happen, and then it would be a paragraph of flashback, and then the next dialogue line would happen. It like took some getting used to, probably similar to how Sally Rooney's lack of quotation marks are, but I got used to it, and it ended up being, I thought, was a really cool style. Honestly, and then thrown in with all of the little clever callbacks, I thought was just super cool.
Yeah, brilliant. But if only I could have picked up on that, because because I genuinely just did not follow. But
big brain Jan, ladies and gentlemen.
Big brain Jan, indeed. There was one. That's what I'm looking for right now. There's this one paragraph where she described something so well. It was like a smell of something, and I was like, wow, I smelled that.
I smelled it.
I smelled it. Oh, here. It was the fucking chapel at the airport. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Where? What's the quote?
249, when she is, I don't know. Actually, I don't know whose perspective this is, but at LAX, they're like talking about the mom being like, oh, it always made me go to the chapel at the airports, and like it described like the lingering scent of incense, and yeah.
It was Santiago.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, which I think was the only chapter that we got from him. Because it's like, that's when he was talking about like trying to lose weight, but also being a chef, and also his friends referring to him as like big guy. And he goes to visit Anders. I think that's the only chapter from Santiago. But I totally remember, and probably maybe because that character was a chef, he's like used to describing things very vividly. Because there was a few moments in his chapter where I was like, damn, now I'm hungry. Oh shit, that sounds good.
I could not, for the life of me, visualize what the fuck Anders looks like.
Same. And the rest of them, I feel like I got a really good picture, but Anders is like faceless. I have no idea.
Same.
Which is weird, because they talk about him being like so beautiful and like an ex-model and just like so stunning, so handsome. I have not a single image on the brain.
Right. What's that one reel that's like the roomies just did it too? It's like think or something like that.
Oh, come on, brain. Be so smart.
Right.
Come on, brain.
Yes.
A classic.
I'm so glad you got that. Dude, okay, side note though, your like most recent reel in the kitchen, genius.
Oh my god, I have you heard it here first. I have another one that I'm posting tomorrow. That I think I like more. Like it makes me giggle, which is probably really dorky, but it should be going up before work tomorrow.
It's just so good. So good. The facial expressions, the body move, the hair, it was perfect.
It's an energy.
Did you have any like favorite quotes like that you want to talk about?
I think the only one I highlighted before I switched over to audiobook was the one about like has he ever said anything more interesting than what you were thinking?
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, paragraph that I highlighted. Oh, where'd you go?
Not coloring.
Coloring. Oh, yeah, look, I just did a whole little swoop on the paragraph. Too lazy to highlight the whole thing.
We love a little swoop-de-swoop.
Little swoop. It's pretty early. It's page 72.
Okay.
Why did I highlight this? Who knows? She smiled. Oh, it's like one of Frank's drunken nights where he comes home and like Cleo is pissed at him. And it's like, can we talk about me now? Asked Zoe. But Frank was looking at Cleo and she held his stare. She smiled and he was forgiven for last night. She was sensitive. He knew that, but she was tough too. He'd yelled at her from the street outside. Oh, because it goes to a flashback of that like day where they're in a cafe and she's like yelling at him and he goes outside to hold her hot chocolate in the snow so it cools down. It's like a random flashback that is happening at the same time that this other conversation is happening, where I think it's from Frank's POV. And Frank is saying like, yeah, this one time we were at this cafe in his like little flashback brain and Cleo and I were fighting about something and I went outside to cool her hot chocolate down in the snow and I was trying to yell something back at her through the window, but she couldn't hear me. And he was trying to yell happy ? That's what he'd been calling through the window, through the swirling snow. Have I made you happy now?
Wait, okay, that's kind of brilliant.
It was, yeah. And the fact that she like didn't know and couldn't hear him, but like was like laughing and smiling through the window at him was like weirdly foreshadowing for the way their relationship turned out.
Okay, okay, fuck my favorite quote for now. Let's talk about that goddamn fight. It was infuriating.
Dude.
Infuriating. Triggered, first of all. Second of all, it hit home way too fucking... dude. The whole, like... I was just talking to Mr. Company over there about, like, the whole one-upping tragedies thing the other day, and then I read about it, and I was like, whoa. So that happened, and then the whole, like... there was one really... Wait. Okay, sorry, continue. I'm gonna look for this. Oh, sorry. What really got me, I almost damn near cried. Where are my feet? I'm still here, Cleo. At least give me some credit for that. I'm here. You want credit for not leaving me? Are you joking? Sorry, Frank, but you're married to me. For richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. That was the deal. You said these vows, you made these promises, and now you want credit for what? Living by them? I was like, dude, literally fucking...
She committed to that one.
not me throwing shit. It's the praise that people crave for the bare minimum. I just
like the bar is on the floor, Frank.
The bar is in hell, and I'm notorious for putting the bar in hell, and you know that. And like, dude, it was so fucking frustrating to read that whole chapter.
Yeah,
it hit.
That was a crazy one.
Yeah, so that's all. That was my
that's all? Okay.
The end.
Book on the floor, that's it.
God damn. And then after that he was like, I was richer, you were poorer, and she was like, and now what? I'm sickness and your health. And I was like, nice.
Ooh.
Queen shit, let's go.
Yeah. Is that the fight that starts with her suggesting that maybe he drink less?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And he like explodes because he's like so defensive, like, oh, I provided for you. Oh, like you don't even paint anymore. Oh, like the you're gonna ask me to change when I ask nothing of you. And she's like, that's really not what I meant. And oh my god, it just that was so hard to read.
Yeah, and the don't do that, don't victimize yourself under the guise of taking responsibility. That's not an apology, that's self pity. Bro. Bro.
Bro. Bro.
That is all.
Yeah, that was brutal. And like their whole thing about calling each other Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which from like the first chapter they make a joke about of like, oh, Cleopatra is like the undoer of men. Oh, Frankenstein, like such a monster, like destroys everything.
Yes.
And then that just happened was first of all, I thought genius writing, like naming your characters that, but making it not feel forced. Like it felt like, oh, those are just like their personalities. How weird.
How weird.
Oh, crazy.
True.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever.
And then at the end, are we going to talk about the end?
Let's talk about the ending. It's been 40 minutes. Let's talk about the ending.
Okay, sick. Because like Cleopatra and Frankenstein like got brought up again, like what, the third to last page or some shit?
Yeah, they like call each other their nicknames like one last time and then talk about Halloween.
Oh yeah, they dressed up as them.
I know. Which is like a little on the nose, my guy, but I'll let it slide.
God. And then the 5. Okay, I guess I missed like what the whole like who are your 5 people? Wait. Oh.
It's like the 5 people you love or something.
Yeah. And then and you, that's 5. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Always you. It gets me.
I know. I really liked the last chapter, like with the 2 of them, because it felt like such a good. I don't. Maybe healthy isn't the right word because of all of the shit that they like did to each other and went through, but like it felt very satisfying and very like real, and like closure, I guess, for both of them to like have this conversation. Like, okay, our marriage is ending. I still have love for you. We can appreciate what each other went through and what we did to each other. And you have this happiness now, and I want to find that. I felt like it was a very good last chapter.
Yeah. Heartbreaking, but I mean, because there was, okay, yeah, that's what I was confused by. Like, was that a flashback then when they were like getting back together after, or was that in the present? Before it started talking about him getting with Eleanor again.
I think that was a flashback because they were kind of talking about like that might have still been the Halloween thing.
Because I was like, damn, this toxic as fuck.
Yeah, Cleo was asking like, oh, like I want to like, what's it like? And Frank's like, oh, you're really okay, like talking about her. Are you sure? And she's like, yeah, like I want to find that. But they're also talking about like early in Cleo and Frank's relationship, so it kind of got all mingled up together.
Got it. Noted.
What did you think of Eleanor and Frank together at the end?
I thought it was a little bit of a curveball. But I'm glad that like Cleo and Frank didn't get back together.
Yeah.
But again, like I didn't feel connected to Eleanor at all, like whatsoever. I don't know why. I just thought she was a side character. I didn't even know she had her own chapters. So yeah, so I don't know. I just always just saw her as a side hoe.
I know, she kind of was, and she even like called him out for it at the end. She's like, you need to go see Cleo.
Oh yeah.
We're still married and this is an affair. And he's like, oh yeah. I should do that. Sorry, babe.
How about you though? Well, you said Eleanor was one of your favorites.
I liked her a lot, and probably because I related to her the most. It was like, oh, like the writer who sends these like jokey emails to her coworkers and comes from this like super stable fiercely loving family, which was like, oh, that's me. Nice.
I love the phrase fiercely loving. Like,
yeah, they talked about that, and it was like, oh shit, that's how I would describe my family and my parents. Is like the way that I was raised, and I feel so blessed and like grateful to have had like a healthy, supportive, unconditionally loving childhood like that. And when they described Eleanor's family that way, I like weirdly felt like, oh yeah, I could say that about my family, and that's really cool.
oh, I mean, same, I guess. Before we read Chelsea's comment, I do want to mention that I got so excited about the warehouse fire. I don't know why I get so excited by fires in books, but it's just so like final, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I just love fire. What started it all for me was little fires everywhere. And then ever since then, whenever books ended with a big fire, I just love it. And I was really hoping that would be like a big part, but it wasn't. But I got so excited. And that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I thought of you too. I was like, oh, a fire? But then it was like kind of like not a big deal, but
yeah, no.
It was a tease. A fire tease.
For me. But if you want to, yeah.
And then he had the audacity to be like, well, you're the one with the hospital bracelet on when she was done, when she said the sickness and health line.
Yes. God, I wanted to slit his fucking throat.
Yes. This we haven't talked about at all, actually. Yes. Which,
I don't even know what to say.
I know. I don't know either. It was kind of like the whole book was like leading there, I think. Especially because of everything we learned about her mom too, and then like making that, like pouring the soil and like the wheelbarrow in the living room, all of that. Yeah, and was really gnarly.
Yeah, because like
gnarly, bro.
Because that was the same argument when he was insisting that she was too fragile and too vulnerable and too sensitive, right? Oh, I was livid. I was fucking livid.
Yeah, it was. God forbid you have a few less drinks, Frank, who's the sensitive one. Yeah.
Okay, but wait, I think one of my favorite scenes is page 119 when she was walking alone at night. And like, that's one of my biggest fears. Like, I fucking hate walking alone at night, right? I'm fucking tiny. I don't want to be walking alone at night. And then Frank comes.
He just like shows up and rescues her.
I was like, kind of cute.
It was kind of cute, and it was also like, I felt for her because she ran away because she was pissed at him for like drunkenly doing that dive off of the balcony.
Oh yeah.
So that's why she left, because she was angry after she was like, for me, please don't do this. And then he was like, oh, whatever. So she left, ended up at the like club with some random guy, and then said, please take me home. And he was like, no. So she was like walking home, now super scared after she was super angry. And then Frank comes to her rescue, and all she could feel is like relief, even though she was still angry at him. I was like, wow,
that whole roller
coaster, messy.
That fucking, again, vignette of like just the roller coaster of emotions just represents their entire fucking relationship.
Yes.
Genius.
Oh my God, yeah.
Fucking genius.
Genius. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree.
That just hit me. Like, that was a light bulb right there. That was a light bulb.
A light bulb.
And then on page 151, this is just so random, but like how they isolated the song Last Christmas.
Yeah, that was super random.
But like, it was random that I thought it was like worth noting, is what I mean. Because it was such good writing, in my opinion. I don't know.
No, I thought that was good too.
And then at this point, I'm just kind of listing all my notes, so feel free to interrupt me. I'm just trying to get it all out there, you know.
What did you think? Damn, do you hear that bird outside?
I do. Oh, your frogs aren't acting up tonight.
I know. It's not quite dark enough for the frogs yet, but we've got different nature ambiance, I guess. Calm down, man. What did you think of the whole affair with Anders and how that all shook out?
The affair with Anders. Oh, and then she didn't tell him, right? He
Yeah.
never
Like,
told him.
no, you're right. Oh my God. I just put
Yeah.
that together. Because, like, her and Anders had this reckoning, but she still never told Frank about it.
Yeah, because she contemplated it at one point, and she was like, I can't bear to see him as hurt as blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, own up to your shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. I guess.
Yeah, it was so strange to me because they hooked up like a while ago, and then they started hooking up when Frank was like on a shoot somewhere out of the country for like a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anders like disappeared, moved to LA or something.
Was
And then
Frank already with Eleanor at the same time as this going on?
I think they were like doing their like little email thing, but they weren't like together.
Okay.
Like Cleo and Anders were like sleeping together daily, like practically living together while Frank was out of the country. And like Frank and Eleanor were sending each other like silly emails.
Silly, goofy emails.
Silly, goofy. But Eleanor was talking to her mom, being like, oopsie, I'm in love with a married guy at work.
Oh.
What did her mom say? Her mom had something really like funny to say about it. It was like, oh, Eleanor, I thought you were gonna say something more dramatic, or like that's not the end of the world, or something like that.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it actually was.
I don't know, but I'm in Eleanor's chapter again with the stars, and I just saw that whole section where she's like, okay, so I'm not pretty. Some people have diabetes, like all that. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. Some people have toes, some people cut it, whatever. I highlighted that. I thought that was cool. That was a cool little, I did not end up pretty, big whoop. Oh, that's why okay. What the fuck? Never mind. That was pointless. No. But I also highlighted that smells of salted nuts and disappointment. That's the next sentence. No, but okay. But the next big thing is the racism, though. Let's just.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched that the Abercrombie and Fitch documentary yet?
No, I have to.
It's gonna fucking infuriate you.
Oh my God.
But this reminded me of it because it was talking about like the wok puns.
Yes.
Like in the Chinese restaurant advertising. I was like, this is racist, right? Like
racist.
Yeah, because like the documentary was talking about how Abercrombie and Fitch would put like Buddhas and like walk and roll and shit like that on their t-shirts, and they would just keep selling them because they were selling. And it talked about how there was one Asian guy on the like marketing team or whatever, or the design team, and like that's what made it okay type shit. So yeah, you gotta watch that. It's booked.
Yikes.
But and then there was that one part with Zoe and Jiro.
Yes. Oh my God. What did he say to her that was like?
He was like, do you consider yourself black? And she was like,
yeah.
I don't consider myself black. I am black.
Right.
And then he was like, but your mom's white. She's like, that doesn't make me any less black. And he was like, I think that's the definition of it, actually. And I was like, bruh.
Bro, please go away. Yeah. And then he like compared it to his mom being Korean or something, and how it was hard for her in Japan. And Zoe was like, okay, so we agree then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that whole thing. I don't know. Whatever happened with them two?
I think she kind of just like kicked him to the curb. Because wasn't that from... I don't think they kept seeing each other. I think she like finished that date.
But didn't he show up somewhere? Because it mentioned like, oh, the
Um,
Asian man in the suit next to Zoe or
shit.
whatever. Or was that the same day?
Was that the art show that like Cleo went to and then like that guy showed up?
Yeah, and it was like they were counting turtlenecks.
Yes. Yes, and then one of them was Anders.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. That was when it hit me. I was like, they're basing this on cliches wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very on the nose and very like a self-aware way.
Love self-aware books.
We love self-aware books.
It should be its own genre, honestly.
Yes. Books for hot girls. Can we talk about how Cleo dumped a bucket of ice on Anders and then got pushed onto the ground with handcuffs for it?
Oh my god, yes. And then they were like, security was like, ma'am, to Zoe, or was it Zoe that she was with? When she
I think so. I feel like Zoe was there.
It was like, this woman assaulted this man. And then Zoe was just like, he had it coming. Like,
right, like she dumped a bucket of ice on him. Like, are you kidding?
The ice bucket was in his future or whatever the
fuck. Yeah. Oh, this comment. Yes. How when she's at the like meditation or whatever, and this other girl is like, they go crazy for ethnic girls, and Zoe even has the thought of like, I'm gonna choose to let that go.
Yes, and that is me whenever I get called exotic. Dude. I felt that so hard. I was like, yep, gonna let that go for now. It's not worth my time. And it's like, it is though, you know? It is worth not letting go. So
yeah.
But yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah, the fact that she's sitting there in like a Zen environment and then has the shit at her, like, cool. Also, that whole like meditation, what was it? Oh my god, climaxing to consciousness is what it was.
Yeah, and then there was this one line about ayahuasca. Do you remember that line?
Yeah, it was like really early, I think.
No, I thought it was later. It was like, it was so funny. I think I read it today, so it had to be later.
Oh, shoot.
It was like someone was talking. I flew to Mexico to take ayahuasca and trip for 3 days. Then I stopped doing drugs. What was that like? First, you see the color orange. Then you realize you've never really loved. Dude, I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. The one character that we didn't really get a resolution on was Quentin, because we find out from Cleo that he gets like hooked on meth, and we never get like another chapter from him.
Oh shit, I didn't even notice that.
It's like the last time we see him is with his not boyfriend Alex, and like Cleo and Quentin and Alex are all in like a car or a limo or something together, and she sees Quentin pass Alex meth and then like doesn't say, it's just kind of like a what, and Quentin gets really defensive. And then at the very end, Frank is like, oh, how's Quentin? And Cleo's like, we don't talk anymore because of the meth and the drugs. And
yeah,
that like, was that's it. That's all we get.
Damn. Yeah, that was when Quentin was like, I'd rather, you know me, I'd rather cry in a limo than laugh in a Mercedes or whatever the fuck he said.
Which was a great line. Laughing in a bus. Yeah, I'd rather cry in a limo than laugh in a bus. That was a good line.
Yeah, he was white, right? Or no?
Quentin was white, but like he wasn't an immigrant, I think. But his
he was Polish. He was Polish.
Yeah, like his parents and grandmother was Polish, which is why he had to stay in the closet, because his grandmother was loaded, but would take it away if he ever came out.
Right. Okay.
So that's like what his like trauma was all about.
Got it. Yeah. I knew. Okay. I think that's all from me, folks.
That's all from me.
To be honest.
I know. Was there anything else that I feel like we're forgetting? You know who I loved, who never actually got any like screen time, but I thought was a really cool character, was Frank's assistant Jackie.
God.
Like she always had these like little zingers or like little things to say, because she then developed this like relationship, like friendship with Eleanor, and like they would go out to lunch, or like she would go into Frank's meetings and like say something to him, and was like the only person that could like get Frank like into action. I thought she was like the fun like older lady at the office that just like didn't give a shit. I'm like, I want to be Jackie when I grow up.
I want to be Jackie. I was just flipping through my tabs, and on page 13, Cleo said, "Would take a lot more than that to get me out of my cowboy boots." I almost said combat boots because I always say fucking crying in my combat boots. Get me out of my cowboy boots, and I put okay, Noelle, LOL.
Cowboy boots, baby. I don't actually. Oh, that's not true. I do. I don't own a pair of like proper cowboy boots, but I have a pair of heeled. They're like white cowboy heels, which is very on brand.
Yes, close enough with your cowboy hats.
Yes. Yeah, a handful of cowboy hats. Yes. Oh yes, with her dolphins. Oh, Jackie.
Oh my god. It was like, are you a dog person? No, I'm a dolphin person. And then there was that part when they were talking about the sugar gliders, and it was like, what do you think of hairless cats? And they said demonic. And I was like, same. I could not with those things, dude. They're so ugly. No offense.
They're oh my god, no. They're ugly, but in like a pug way. Like I find them so ugly that they're cute again. No. But I still don't know if I would have one.
Pugs are ugly that they're cute. Like so ugly that they're cute. And you know how I feel about French bulldogs.
Right, yes.
But dude, hairless cats are like cat-shaped foreskin, dude. Like I fucking can't. I cannot with them. They're not cute. I don't see how they're cute. I don't see how you can cuddle with that shit. They're like naked mole rats. I fucking cannot. No.
Cat-shaped foreskin, ladies and gentlemen.
Not I supply.
Oh my gosh. That's a good one. In college, we had a quote wall, which was just like butcher paper on the wall, and we would just Sharpie quotes out of context from the house. And if I still had a quote wall, that would go on it.
Cat-shaped foreskin.
Yes.
We should do one of those Twitter things with the 4 photos of the live show.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Hi, Cammie.
Hi, Cammie.
Cutie. Did you read? Oh no, she said she really wants to read this book. But
yeah, it's a goodie. I would recommend. I'm really happy that we read it.
Cammie would love this book. I think Cammie would love this book.
Zodiac Academy is my whole life at this moment. You are living your best life.
We know.
Have your moment.
I'm gonna read the first one this month for sure.
I'm definitely like, Cammie, you have me intrigued because I've heard many people talk about it, but seeing you become so obsessed, I'm like, maybe I'll try it. Well, maybe I'll try it.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Noelle, you have a man in your house.
He goes, hi. When we first started dating, he's still working at In-N-Out, and he came home late one night, super late. Hi. And it was like 2 a.m. He gets home from work before we lived together or anything. And my first reaction was like him like crawling into bed, and I woke up and had like a punch ready.
I remember you saying,
he was like, it's me.
Oh wait, I do have 2 more quotes to talk about. 3 more quotes to talk about.
Thank God you annotate, because I was like, just vibes.
Okay. I guess I'll read this one because it's the shortest. Not me like being so into this. Like, why can't I be like this with my book club? The fuck? Where is this energy for the full moon? Come on. They had never touched, never kissed, but his response to her was Titanic. Everything in him rose to meet her. My heart fucking swelled out of my chest. Living for that one. And then the Hollywood sign one. Do you remember the Hollywood?
Yes. Was that from Eleanor's mom?
Yes.
She had like so many good little nuggets.
Happiness is like the Hollywood sign. It's big, it's unattainable, and even if you do make it up there, what's there to do but come back down? And I was like, damn.
I
Have you
know
ever
that was
hiked
a
up
good
there?
one.
Have you ever hiked up there?
I haven't. I've like been to LA a handful of times, and every time it's like, we could do the Hollywood sign, or we could do like literally anything else. For
It's
some
so I
reason,
went
yeah.
when it was like 80 fucking degrees and
Mhm.
like yeah, I was dying, but I think it was I don't know if it was worth it, but
It's good for the Instagram picture, which I haven't done. So maybe one of these days.
yeah, you're just like behind the sign. That's a thing. Like, you
True.
can't even get close to it.
Mm.
But anywho, spoilers for the hike up there. And then I guess I'll end with the reality was sweaty and ugly quote. Do you remember that one?
No. When was that?
45.
Oh.
Early, yeah. Reality was sweaty and ugly. It was deodorant stains on black clothing and cold sore cream and utility bills. It was fake girlfriend, formal dinners, or informal dinner. You know what I'm saying now. You get the gist. I'm done.
Yeah, which was from Quentin. Because he was like talking about all of his dresses or something, or somewhere in that context, I thought.
Yeah.
Where it's like, why does he like to dress up, or why does he keep like a secret wardrobe? Because because he was talking about like the fantasy versus the reality.
Yeah, and he was trying to like convince himself to go to that orgy.
Yeah. Which was so weird and kind of anticlimactic.
I know.
He, like, got there and immediately left. And like that was it.
I was like, the build up for what?
The build up for what? OMG, baby doggy.
The whole experience thus far had been about as sexy as a prison check-in.
Yeah, which after he said that, I was like, I mean, yeah, that is kind of what he went through at the door, but it was a funny line.
That's all I got.
Wow, I think that's also all I got. I feel like we covered everything.
Yeah,
pretty,
I feel like I've been
pretty comprehensive.
I feel like I've been talking for 3 days straight. We gotta go.
Great book club. Go us. I guess that's what happens when we both read the book the day of book club.
Right. Can't talk right
now.
We're doing hot girl shit.
I have not learned my lesson. Every single month I'm like, oh no, I'm so stressed. I gotta read it. And then Wes is like, what if maybe you just read it a few days ahead of time? I'm like, no, it works out. It works out.
I know, every time, yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for reading with me and doing Hot Girl Book Club with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being late
and all of that.
Thank you for being late for me.
Oh, not a problem. I'm glad that we got the freshest, most organic, free-range, grass-fed thoughts.
Oh my God, true. Perfect way to put it. All right. Well, thank you for having me. I love it here.
I love it here. We're here on little Yeehaw land, Hot Girl Book Club land.
Back at it again with Noelle 7 pages. 7's her
Whoa! There she is. Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Next month, we are reading Lessons in Chemistry with Rachel from Let Me in the Library, which is really fun. It should be a little bit more lighthearted, a nice break from all of the heavy shit we've been reading recently. And that is a problem for a month from now. So until then, we will see you around on the internet, and talk to you later.